Joining us now live from D.C. are Democrat Hanson Clark, Republican Thaddeus McCotter. Gentlemen, thank you both very much for being here. Congressman McCotter, let me start with you because the word is that the Democrats have put forward a bill that would buy us another week, and the Republicans just aren't willing to do that. Why not?
Well, no, the House today, on a bipartisan basis, with 15 Democrats joining us, passed a measure that would get us through another 7 days and fully fund the military through the end of the year, would have $12 billion in additional spending reductions, and thus would avoid a government shutdown within the next 30 hours.
Right.
And that went over to the Senate.
And but we're apparently not expecting much progress on that side over there.
Well, I would hope, as Senator Reid has himself said, where there's life, there's hope. And we hope that they would recognize what the American people did in 2010, is that we are heading towards a fiscal precipice, and there's no time like the present to start the fiscal triage that is necessary to put us back on a path towards solvency, sustainability, and prosperity.
Congressman McCotter, it's interesting. A lot of the debate today is letting this boil down to the abortion issue and how much federal funding is going to be poured into abortion services and procedures. How important is that to you in where this entire debate stands over shutting down the government?
Well, it's clearly important to both sides, or it would not be an issue. It would not be something that we're talking about. I personally, and the vast majority of Republicans, agree with the American people that don't want to see their tax dollars used to fund abortions, directly or indirectly. They believe that this is the type of spending that put us in this problem. And any place that we see instances such as this, if we can cut that funding, it can only further help to shrink the size and scope and intrusiveness and expensiveness of government and help to increase the prosperity of the United States by letting people grow the economy.
Congressman Clark, let me let you weigh in on that same question.
Well, abortion is a very personal and heartfelt issue. It's an important one. But we're halfway through our fiscal year right now, and we still don't have a long-term budget. We need to focus on abortion separately and get with getting this budget passed, because here's what's at stake right now. There are many of your viewers who are expecting their tax refund checks. They need that to pay their rent and their mortgages. If we go into shutdown, they're likely going to be delayed in getting their tax refund check. That's not acceptable. We have folks that are applying for Social Security at this moment. If we go into shutdown this weekend, they're not going to be able to get their benefits.
In fact, Congressman Clark, there's you gentlemen need your benefits as well, and there's talk going around in Washington that if the government should shut down, people in Congress, the president, you shouldn't be paid. How do you both feel about that, Congressman Clark?
Let me just be really clear on this. I'm not in this job for the perks. I'm going to work regardless if I get paid right now or not. That doesn't matter.
It's symbolically, I think. Go ahead, Congressman McCotter. Go ahead.
Well, it's symbolic, but constitutionally we have to do our jobs regardless, the same as the President, the same as the Senate, and especially as we try to get through this. And as I pointed out on the House floor and elsewhere, when you try to tie money to the decision an elected official makes, it's usually bribery or extortion. But in fairness to my colleague Hanson Clark, he was not here. He was running for office. He's newly elected to the Congress.
Right.
And what we're dealing with are appropriations from the last Congress, which the Democrats had total control, could not pass them, could not pass a budget, and so it has now gone into the next year, and I think that that's a source of frustration for both parties.
I got time for a one-word answer from both of you here as we're about to lose our satellite window. Are we going to head down? Congressman McCotter?
I don't prognosticate.
I'm going to fight so that we don't. People deserve their tax refund checks. I'm going to stay here around the clock to make sure that we get that budget together. You can count on that.
Congressman Hanson Clark.
We both agree we don't have one-word answers.
I was being overly optimistic, I'm sure. Congressman Hanson Clark and Thaddeus McCotter, gentlemen, thank you both very much for being with us. I know you've had